Aiden Coca writes, great video. I'm actually thinking about purchasing a 350Z and I was wondering if you could do a video of the ups and downs of daily driving a 350Z and how much it costs to maintain a 350. Keep up the great vids, love them, and I also live in Phoenix. Thanks for the comment, Aiden. If you ever see me in Phoenix, don't hesitate to flag me down. How much does it cost to daily drive a 350Z? Well... if you don't count supporting mods, really not that much. But let's talk about it in today's video. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona, and welcome to another video. I don't want to get in the habit of making content like this because at the end of the day, it is just my opinion and everybody's experience with a 350Z is going to be different. But being that comment got about 6 likes, and snapshot in time I have 1,200 subscribers, that would be the same as somebody with 1.2 million subscribers getting like 600 likes. So I figured it needed to be addressed. Now most of the people watching this will either own a 350Z, so they'll know what I'm talking about, or they'll be thinking about purchasing one. And if you're thinking about purchasing one, there's a couple things I wanted to go over real quick, just so that you can know where I stand on this car and what financial situation I would want to be in personally if I was buying one. First of all, I've said this before, but if you're a longtime subscriber, you already know it. I'm a realtor in real life, and if you don't own a house, don't waste money on a car like a 350Z. Even though I don't think it's really a waste of money because it's a pretty affordable car, but you need to own a house prior to owning a car like this because what this car costs to buy is the same as a down payment on a house. So you better own a house before you look at buying one of these. But Jesse, I'm 16 years old, or Jesse, I'm 18 years old. I need to have a car to drive around. That's great. Buy something even cheaper than this, just a total jalopy to get you from point A to point B, and go and invest the rest, in my opinion. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor, but that's what I would do if I was you. Second thing I'll say is if you do own a house, good for you. Now, can you buy this car twice? Snapshot in time, you know, these cars with some miles on them are going for about, you know, $10,000 or less for nice examples. They'll go cheaper than that even. But if you can't buy it twice, so if it's an $8,000 car, if you don't have $16,000 in the bank, don't bother getting it. Okay, now that we've gotten through all that crap, we know that you're in the right financial situation, you got extra money to blow on a car, you're looking at the 350Z. Here are the things that I, Jesse Shield, who have owned a 350Z for like a year and a half now, would tell you about the car. Okay, so let's start off with the basics. This is a 2006 350Z. It has the VQ35DE rev-up engine. I know there's a lot of hate on the rev-up. Dude, the VQ35DE rev-ups suck. Give me that camera. Shut up, Negative Jesse, you suck. The 350Z was produced from 2003, I think, to 2008, and every 2 years they tweak the engine a little bit. So there's the VQ35DE, there's the DE rev-ups, and then there's the HR for 2007, 2008. I'm not going to get into a pissing match about which one's the best. Each engine has its own little nuances. Powers vary, red lines vary. All I will say is the one that you can get for the right price and the one that you can maintain is the best. Dude, you know the HR is better. Okay, if you can get the HR, then take it, but don't spend an extra $2,000 and pass up a DE if there's a good one out there. Now, my car currently has 185,000 miles on it. When I bought it had 175,000. So I've got 10,000 miles under my belt in over a year and a half, and I've driven it pretty spirited during that time. Now, given my driving style, given the amount of miles I put on it, how much money have I put into the engine so far mechanically? Zero. You could make an argument on the belts. I did do both the belts at one point, but looking back on it, I probably didn't need to. It was more of a tension issue than a belt issue. So if you want to call me out for 40 bucks, go ahead. But really, I didn't even need to do that. Now, performance-wise on the engine, I did add the Add W1 oil catch can. I'll put a $5 discount code in the description below. I do think it does serve a purpose on this car. They're known for burning oil. When I first got this car, I thought it burned a lot of oil, but recently with the addition of the catch can and a pretty free-flowing exhaust, I feel like it's actually gotten better. Don't quote me on that, it could just be me. But that said, I am changing it a little bit more frequently. Basically, anytime I beat on the car, I change the fluids. Now, legitimately, that takes care of everything I've ever done up front. There's one thing I have broken in the back. I'll try and show you that now. So this car is rocking a welded rear diff due to the philosophy of use I have with it, which is basically a daily drifter. If you're gonna try and learn how to drift with your car, or you are drifting, you're gonna have to weld the diff. It's just the way it is. If that wasn't welded, I don't think this would have been an issue, but I did break the boot on the driver's side axle. So I did replace the driver's side axle. I think it was about 140 bucks Might have even been cheaper than that to replace it, but that is legitimately the only thing I've broken. Now, while I've got the car up in the air and I'm back here anyway, I'm gonna show you the main expense that you're gonna incur with a 350Z, and also one that you might wanna shell out the cash for. And heads up, if you can see behind me, you probably already know what it is. So depending on your age and maturity level, you are going to go through tires on this car. It's just the nature of the beast. And as you can see, it's time for me to get a new set on this one because I'm down to the cords on the driver's side. I always have a couple around and on deck just in case. So legitimately, the only expenses I think you're really gonna incur on a 350Z, unless you get a lemon, are gonna be oil, gas, and tires. Now, one upgrade I would highly recommend, legitimately, I think a 350Z is a fun car, totally bone stock. But if there was only one upgrade I could put on the car, it would be a diff brace, and here's why. The rear diff has two large mounting bolts up front, and then it just has the one stud coming off the face of the diff that goes through the subframe. And under not just race conditions, but just normal driving conditions, the stress of the drivetrain, that can snap. And if that snaps, your diff is falling down and gonna mess with your drivetrain. So what the diff brace does, and this is a Bell Raceworks, GK Tech makes one, I know Z1 makes one too, they're around $100, maybe a little bit over. But what that does is it creates another mounting point to the subframe, so now you've got two back here and two up front. So if you're getting a 350Z, or you have one and you don't have this mod, this is one. I'm not gonna make any money off this obviously, but I would highly recommend you have this just to prevent any big damage to your drivetrain. I have to add that parts are wicked cheap for this car. Don't forget about your junkyards and eBay before you go to O'Reilly, AutoZone, Pep Boys, whatever. It's legitimately the same car as the Infiniti G35. So from the engine and all the drivetrain stuff is the same. It's totally swappable. That's a G35 diff in there right now. So if you're one of those people looking for a sports car on a budget, maybe because you're young, maybe because wifey won't let you spend the money, I have to applaud you for watching this video and looking into a 350Z. I'm gonna try and keep this video really short. Hopefully I gave you the information you need. I know when I'm watching videos, I don't like to hear a bunch of jargon. I just like to get to the point and then get on with my life. So if you enjoyed today's video, like and subscribe, baby. In any event though, I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more. I'll catch you in the next one. Listen. Holding it to the car. For my limited, let's see, for my limited testing, Now, for those of you who watched to the very end and definitely hit the like button, I'm gonna give you a little added bonus. The 350Z is one of those cars right now that's so affordable, a lot of people are gonna get their hands on them and they're gonna absolutely trash them. And as the years go on, fewer and fewer of these are going to be on the road. So if you buy it in the right color, the right trim, the right mileage, and take care of it, there's a good chance you can get a 350Z and never really pay anything for it, because what you buy it for today, you'll be able to sell it for more tomorrow. Think about that!